We've gone from Ethereum's proof of stake is never going to launch to people explaining why it's not going to actually work once it's launched. The criticisms I see are usually strawman arguments. Now, I say strawman because assuming they actually know all the arguments, and that isn't easy even for people in the industry, but I keep hearing the same things over and over again, so I thought I'd talk about them. The first one I hear is that, well, Ethereum is not, a proof of stake is not going to scale Ethereum. That is true. We know that. That doesn't make proof of stake bad. It's just that's a fact of what it is. And as someone who's excited about proof of stake, I can tell you, I'm also aware that it doesn't do anything for scaling. Scaling is gradually coming, and proof of stake does do tiny little things, including allow other things to happen on top of it. But the scaling is something that gradually comes over the next many, many years and is already here. We have Arbitrum, we have Optimism, roll-up blockchains already up and running for over a year, gaining momentum. And many more, there are others that exist, and many more coming with the ZK roll-ups launching somewhat soon. And this is all very exciting. Ethereum is scaling. The next thing I hear people talk about is, proof of stake is launching, but sharding is not, and it's not coming for a long time. Again, yes, that's true. As someone who is excited about proof of stake launching, I know that sharding is not coming anytime soon. But again, that's fine. I understand that. And again, sharding is something that helps with scaling. But we have scaling, is here today, and, so one thing to remember with scaling is when you have a new high growth tech, this is always the issue. When the internet started, it was, oh my God, email's going to destroy the internet. And then it was like, okay, well, we fixed that. But now it's like, people attaching, images with the web. This is going to destroy the internet. And then, they work through that. And then it's, video is going to bring down the internet. And then we go through. So you're always on the edge of like, oh my God, the whole thing's going to break. And then you have booms where everything is too slow. It's always going to be that way for a very long time. But we are scaling and growing. Oh no, there's one more point I keep hearing. It is, this one drives me bananas. And part of it, so everyone says that proof of stake, the smart people seem to just say that proof of stake is a centralizing force. They say this as if it's all decided. It definitely is. And they can't understand why people who care about proof of stake don't care about decentralization. Okay, listen. As someone who is very not only excited about proof of stake, but is a decentralization maximalist. That's all I care about is decentralization. And the reason I'm on Ethereum is because I believe it's more decentralized than Bitcoin. Fine, you want to argue about that, that's fine. But and I have videos, you can look at my playlist, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I talk about it for 20 minutes, that one topic. And I understand that, the other thing is I'm a human. Maybe I'm wrong, Okay, fine. It's going to launch. Proof of stake, though, was built and implemented with the intention that it makes Ethereum more decentralized over time. Okay, what if we're wrong, we will see that happen. But it's not like we didn't think, when I say we, as if I'm one of the smart people who came up with this thing, the Ethereum community didn't come up with this because they don't care about decentralization, or they're just like, it'll centralize, but who cares? It was built because the community believes that proof of stake will decentralize Ethereum more and make it more decentralized than Bitcoin. Like, that is the philosophy. So, hey, if it's not working, I'm watching, I care about it. If I see it start centralizing, that's going to be a concern. I don't know, I can sell it if I want, but I don't think it is. And the fact that so many people talk about it as if, it's definitely going to centralize, that just tells me, that gives me more confidence, because they they don't appreciate the fact that, this is not some haphazard thing by a bunch of, people, Vitalik, just came up with some idea and then we're throwing it on and people don't really care about decentralization. The fact that the critics think that's what the Ethereum community is about, it just gives me more confidence, right? But anyways, like I said, this idea that we don't care about decentralization is another strawman argument. And hey, God bless if Bitcoin. The reason I think Ethereum is more decentralized is simply because you can do things with your money in a decentralized way. And even this Tornado Cash thing, people talking about that like, oh, it shows it's centralized. No, Tornado Cash is still working. You can go use it. It just puts you on a list that centralized characters can see that you took something from that contract, and then they can, whatever, you can get in trouble. But Ethereum, it's all still working. The same OFAC could come out and say, if you send Bitcoin, then you're on that list. That doesn't centralize Bitcoin. It just puts it on a list. But similarly, Bitcoin's fine. If you just want to send your Bitcoin to somebody else, you can do that. But if you want to do anything else, you can't, and certainly not in a decentralized way. On Ethereum, I can hold stable coins. I can earn yield. I can, have a domain name, an uncensorable domain name. There's social media platforms I can have eventually, these things are sort of coming. You have my own account, have my own data, have a whole life. I can have a unique JPEG with an ape on it, that I own. We can do all of these things in a decentralized way, not just hold one coin. Okay? And so that's why I find that Ethereum is more decentralized. And we'll see over time. Right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are both decentralized enough, right? If it wasn't, they could have gone and closed Tornado, right? If it wasn't decentralized, why wouldn't they have done that? It's not. Tornado's working. If you had money in it, you could still download that money. Okay, so we'll see. It is good to see that the Bitcoin coiners have moved from I don't know if it'll ever launch and I don't know if it'll ever work to now. It's now they're sort of like, it's not going to work or it's going to centralize. We're getting closer to that capitulation. I still eagerly await it. And then, of course, the flippening cometh when Ethereum's market cap passes Bitcoin's. And then, to me, this long trade will be over, and then maybe I'll actually buy some Bitcoin someday when everyone thinks that thing's done, right? Someday the tide will turn. Remember when everyone thought Zuckerberg was the greatest person in the world, and then everybody thought he's the worst person in the world, and guess what? He's neither. Somewhere in the middle. And the same might be true for Bitcoin and Ethereum, for those of you who are extremists or maximalists and all that. But I do like being a even decentralization maximalist. I mean, not everything in the world is decentralized. There are good investments that are centralized. And I got money, I got dollars sitting in Bank of America. It's not my favorite, but I got to pay bills. What do you think? Comment below. Link to my Discord, Twitter. Talk with me there. And if you like the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you won't miss my video tomorrow. See you then.